We had some banger over here before call. Like I was literally moving over here. What's up? What's up, everybody? I see we have literally chat is already fired up. I'm super grateful, guys, that I can be over here with you today. Definitely like crazy day in the market. It's already right, and pretty much right since like who I actually am. I'm Rock Kumer, of course. Nick already introduced me. So pretty much coming from Slovenia, so we are not that far apart, right? And I hope that COVID didn't affect you as much as let's say the around the world is actually happening. But anyway, guys, we are here today to show you guys that even the fundamental, like fundamentals, and of course stuff like that, does not change trading so much, and it's definitely whatever is there. People in panic is literally just beneficial for us because we know that this skill set that we have in our hands, literally economic crisis, bulletproof. So pretty much, I have been inside of the forex industry for 7 years now. I started in 2014 and pretty much I started with Tradehouse in the early of 2015. Zachary Hogan was definitely the first mentor that I found on Facebook, so pretty much I stuck with him since the day one, I say. But anyway, guys, today I will show you guys a little bit about smart money and the reason why we are trading in smart money the way we are. Um, Now, I'm just gonna try to show you guys really the reason why the market moves, how, of course, I think it's moved, and I will give you guys a little bit logic behind it because I feel that it's not just candlestick up and candlestick down, and it's not just trend line and moving averages and all that. It's pretty much what is actually going on behind the candlestick, why the market is literally dry, let's say being pushed in a certain level, and what is actually going on, right? So I always start with kind of like fundamentals when it comes to smart money trading and how I started in the first 3 years, right? I didn't have the information that we have today and knowledge and all that, right? So what was going on in my head? Of course, I kind of knew what Forex really is, what Forex can do for me. I bought with that idea that of course, I can be wealthy, I can be financial free, and of course, because I didn't had I am in my hand back then. Of course, there was not platform like this today. So pretty much where I started was Google, YouTube, right? And of course, there is a lot of strategy. For me personally, none of which did not work, right? I just burned a lot of money, a lot of accounts with that. And what I found out is that till now, I found out that there are like three groups of people or three groups of traders that are trading in the forex every single day. The first group is definitely a group that are beginners, that doesn't have a proper environment, doesn't have a proper education, doesn't have proper mentors when it comes to all that, and they're just kind of like going YouTube, going Google, right? Search for something that might work, right, and just go with that. And then what happened is in the first 3 months, they're probably burning like 95% of those people burn accounts in first 3 months. Of course, because they don't have emotional intelligence, because they don't control their emotions when it comes to the money, and they don't understand how the market really works, right? They open a demo account or open a real account with $100, $1,000, $10,000, maybe even, right? And because they don't have a proper knowledge, or they just trust a single service or whatever it is, they burn that, right? And then we come to the second group, right, where there is like 4% of those people are literally let's say, the traders that survive 6 to 1 year inside of the marketplace with different strategies, right? Now, those traders, in my opinion, they understand that market is being manipulated in some sort of way. They really don't know how it is being manipulated. They just know that banks are manipulating the marketplace. And because of their kind of like inner ego trader, they want to go against that. They want to be outsmarter, like they want to be more smarter than smart money. That's what they want to be, right? So they're trying to trade against the banks. And of course, you cannot move the marketplace against the banks. Definitely not possible, right? So they're not consistent in the marketplace. They have some success, but there is no like beautiful curve in the equity when it comes to the MetaTrader 4 accounts, right? They're just literally throwing money in the marketplace. So, and then I'm kind of like counting myself as a 1%. Those are the traders that really understand how market operates, really understand how banks are pushing the marketplace, right? Not saying that I'm 100% correct, That's not true, right? But it's just the fact that I'm literally understanding how the market actually works, where the market is actually going, and how banks are operating, how banks are printing the candlestick, which I'm going to show you guys a little bit today, right? So then I changed my mindset to trade in the same direction than banks do. And that's literally the only way how you can consistently grow in your account, being in the same direction as a bank they're moving the marketplace. Because smart money, they are literally central banks, big institutions with a large quantity of money, right? Because they move the marketplace, whatever currency, whatever commodity, whatever index you're watching, there is literally probably like bare minimum 10 zeros, the amount of number, of course, that is required to move market a certain way, right? So what I'm going to show you right now is pretty much we're going to go into the UZ because it's literally the most beautiful opportunity and a beautiful uh, trade last few weeks. And what I'm going to show you right now is, of course, for all of you guys that already are on my session, you already know what institutional candlestick is and what we are using for a concept. But for everybody that doesn't understand how the market really operates, right? Let's go one step back. Let's go to the monthly candlestick on the Euro USD, and let's talk a little bit about it, right? So right now, of course, everybody really understand what is uptrend, what is downtrend, and all that, right? But what we have been taught, let's say at the beginning, it's kind of like a supply and demand zones where the market is having a resistance, where the market reversed, and where we can expect another reversal or another continuation to actually happen. But let's go a little bit deeper and literally a little bit into the price action itself, like what is actually going on behind each candlestick. Because you can see right now over here, I have a bullish candlestick, which are blue, and I do have a bearish candlestick, which are black, right? So what happened over here is market was being manipulated below this low, right? Now we can say that there was a liquidity capture because we can see that market literally should price lower, grab with 2 weeks, a lot of orders down over here. Now, what is actually happening when the market is going to the liquidity? Like, for example, why I said supply and demand is because a support to resistance, or kind of like a basic concept that we know that exists in the marketplace, usually don't work, right? Or they are just there for the excuse. So if I would be trading as, let's say, how I was trading it back then, right, I would probably try to sell right over here when the market come back up, or try to buy over here when the market comes to that point. And in both ways, I would be stopped. Reason being is, again, that's how the market is going for the liquidity. Liquidity means that there are orders down there that smart money really wants. Now, who puts the orders here? Retail traders, traders that are, of course, in the beginning stage, traders that want to be smarter than the banks, and I'm calling that the noob hedge funds, right? The hedge funds, of course, they're using the same method of trading, and they potentially can have a lot of orders down over here, and they're going for their stop losses, right? Let's say, for example, our stop loss is smart money entry. That's what they're going when we're talking about liquidity. And what we have right after, when the market literally grab all of those orders, we have a really bullish candlestick right over here. And if we compare it to the previous black candlestick, that's where we see the change in volume, right? Before we have a lot of movement up and down. But if we just compare the bodies, this candlestick to the upside was really, really bigger, right? So that's that change in the environment. Now, the question now is, where are really the orders hidden when it comes to the smart money? It's not just the most obvious level down over here, but that black candlestick before that is where the hidden gem really is. That's where smart money, in that monthly candlestick, because it's the monthly candlestick, right? That's where smart money was really grabbing the buy orders the entire month. And this was just a peak of those buy orders right over here to actually generate this move up. And then market came back down, and it came back down exactly to that candlestick. Now, again, we're talking about the monthly candlestick right over here. Now let's talk about why the banks or smart money really needs to come back down to this candlestick. And the answer is pretty simple, because it's already required a lot of money to actually move market in certain direction. But they understand as well, because they have like almost unlimited sources of money, they cannot put that money in one press of a button. They cannot change the direction of the market with literally one trade. They need gradually move the market, which I'm going to show you on the UZ cat, but gradually move the market into certain direction. And that gradually, right? For example, let's say that we throw down right now $100 trillion to move EURUSD higher. We cannot go in the marketplace and set on this level, we all gonna go in with a buy order. Now we need to gradually do a 10 trillion, wait for market to react, come back down, bam, another 10 trillion, another 10 trillion, another 10 trillion. And when we have all those $100 trillion in the marketplace, that's when this happened. The big move up, right? And that's where everybody thinks, all right, we missed the opportunity, right? But then again, those orders are going to get exhausted in certain level, right? And what happened when the market is really turning back down? What they're going after? They're going after to the last orders that they know where they existed. And since we have manipulation on over here, this candlestick over here, the last black candlestick, is having exactly the same environment or the same role that this one over here. These two black candlesticks represent the buy orders in the marketplace, not the blue one. The blue one is already the consequence of buy orders being implemented in the marketplace, right? And knowing that and looking this on the higher time frame, the COVID, the corona stuff that hit the marketplace right over here literally brought an opportunity for us on the EURUSD over here for a long time buy position to the upside, right? That's why I said it. Understanding something like that is literally bulletproof skill set. And then again, we have a similar condition right here as well. How the market actually came back down. Who caused that? Like which candlestick caused that? Now we have a flip the script over here, and now we need to watch the blue candlesticks. So this blue candlestick have a bearish candlestick after, and then literally we didn't trade higher, but we trade lower, right? So how these two bearish candlestick got printed? By smart money getting sell orders into this blue candlestick and to this big one as well, right? Because this move higher was kind of like the high of that entire move up. So when the market trade past that, right, that's where we need to watch what the market is actually going to do. And look at the precision right there, right? So watch the numbers right here. The opening of this candlestick is 1.20048. And if we go on this monthly candlestick, high is 1.20114. So that's the precision on the monthly level, right? That's how precise we can get, but just understanding the simple concept that we call institutional candlestick, right? And after that, of course, the market reacted to the downside. So there is something going on, right, that potentially we could be taking advantage of. And of course, if we go on the lower time frame, we're going to see that that's exactly when the market reversed to the downside. Now, if we would trade a monthly, of course, we would need a bigger stop loss. But what if we use the daily candlesticks and daily time frame to trade exactly the same way? So the market hit the monthly level. We have a bearish reaction to the downside, right? So where are the sell orders getting in on the daily? Same concept, institutional candlestick right over here, right? And that's where we could be getting a sell, and that's all our profit to the downside. So of course we spend a few hours inside of the daily candlestick, but the reaction is quite obvious, and it's quite nice profit to the downside, right? And then market manipulated right over here with the Biden and Trump situation, and market ran higher as well. And today, of course, we are playing really close to this daily candlestick. But let's go now to the UZ cat. Same concept. right? Really same concept. And we can see that we have equal highs up here. That for us is liquidity. That's what smart money wants. And we came back up right here and hit this daily candlestick, right? So same concept. How this bearish move was printed? By this bullish candlestick right over here. What did we retest over here? Exactly that bullish candlestick. Market reacted to the downside, right? Now watch this. We sweep this low right here, right? You can see that we don't have a body close below that. So that's where the smart money was grabbing what? Well, somebody thought that down over here, the USD CAD from this level should be going higher. And they got stop loss, right? But if we drop down to 1 hour time frame last week, and what really happened over here is something that is so beautifully that I just love when we understand the concepts. So market ran those lows. We can see that in Monday, this is the Sunday price action over here with the yellow, right? So it's easier to count days. That's why I'm using it. So what happened? We have a really bearish push to the downside, strong 4 candlestick to the downside. Then the market is starting to work up. Small ranges, but work up. But now, if we can understand what smart money they're really doing and where they are, right, that they ran liquidity below this low. So let's say, for example, for everybody that understand that if we are in a downtrend, we have lower lows, lower highs, lower low, lower highs, lower low. So when we have this sequence, when the market create a lower low, what is then the next sequence? Retracement back into this range, right? So we have low, high, and now we came back down and we broke that low. And because we broke that low, we have lower low. Now the retracement should happen, right? Okay, so how can we trade the retracement? What really gonna give up the smart money willingness to buy higher? And how can we use when the market was coming back up in this wick? So let's go back down to the hourly. So we have really strong push to the downside on Monday, and that's where the New York Open is at 2 p.m. our time. That's where the New York Open is, and market trade higher. So the entire London session was going down, and of course we ran past this low. This is that red line right over here. We ran that past that low, and we start to have a bullish price action. Okay, so this is where we start to look for a buy setups. So if we now know that market is willing to trade higher, what caused this through the 3 bullish candlestick price action? This bearish candlestick, right? So what is inside of that bearish candlestick? Buy orders, because this is aftermath of those buy orders. So where can we play the trade? Well, we can use the body open for our trade, because the market trade past that, we came back down, bam, that's where our entry is. Now we can be really conservative with stop loss and put it all the way down over here. Sure, doesn't matter. What we are aiming for first, of course, market to come above this high. We want to see that broken structure. So that's not the best R to R that we're really going for, right? But again, we can see that the entire move was orchestrated from this high. So market really wants to reverse, this high should be the target. So now if we're targeting that high, of course, we're getting a bigger risk to reward trade. But can we get really more precise? Of course, let's say, for example, we missed that trade and we weren't certain if the market really is going to work out in that way. Okay, so when the market was coming back down with this bearish candlestick, what do you guys think? What caused this candlestick to print? Probably buy orders, right? Okay, so if we really want to go higher, we know that in this candlestick is where the buy orders really exist, because we have now the proof of that. So when the market is going to come back down, what's going to happen? What is actually going on when the market is coming back down to this candlestick, to this candlestick, and then this candlestick as well? Like, what is actually going on? That's where I said at the beginning, that's how smart money is getting that small portion of the big money in the marketplace. Small portion, reaction, small portion, reaction, small portion, reaction. So each of those candlesticks have probably several $1 trillion inside with, of course, contracts of bullish contracts. Because when the bearish candlestick is printed, it retouched previous bearish candlestick and market react. Because the market was like smart money was getting buy orders in. So this is where our opportunity exists. Knowing that, we now know that smart money is gradually working price up, and that's where we can operate with the idea that that's going to be our next entry with really a big stop loss, if you will, down over here, which is 21 pips. We can use in a more advanced level, of course, we can use the body as our entry and as our stop loss. Of course, the risk to reward drastically increased, right? But now, just observing that, look how many times smart money was getting in with buy orders, right? And I will do it with the green. Right over here, right over here, market react, consolidate. What's this? Equal low. What equal lows represent? The concept of supply and demand. So smart money knows that there is where the retail traders are going to be starting to put entries, and stop loss are going to be probably below that. We created bullish run. We say, all right, retail traders jump in. The train is going on. So retail traders populate this area with stop losses. What is below those stop losses? Bingo. This bearish candlestick, right? So where is our entry? Right there. So you can see that our stop losses are getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Market came back down, react. Having a little bit of pause over here, but reaction is there. Okay, so where the reaction coming from? We can be using the small candlestick right over here, or we could be using this candlestick over here as well, which is that candlestick before that, right here. Work exactly the same. Market react. We didn't get that re-entry on this candlestick, right? There was another concept for everybody that is already on my Go Lives. They will know that this is an imbalance right here. Market react. We're gonna fail to retest this bearish candlestick. Market react, and then we have an explosion move up, came back down. What is here? Bearish candlestick. Market react, come back down. What is here? Bearish candlestick. All right. Then on Friday, we ran past this high, and then we came back down. So literally, look, the entire week, we were going higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. And just with one simple concept, the market was giving us multiple setups with a high risk reward trading. Just knowing one simple concept that we call institutional candlestick. Now, what we had right over here, equal lows, market manipulation, and run higher. So what is now going on over here? Equal lows. What is below equal lows? A candlestick that wasn't retested right over here. But it's not just this candlestick that I have marked with the gray area that kind of like pointed out that why this candlestick should work. But let's go back on the daily. What is actually happening on the daily? And let's zoom in. Right? So that's that low down over here that got rated. Which candlestick grabbed all those orders? This bearish candlestick. What this bearish candlestick did? It caused all this move higher. Okay, so where are the big buy orders? Bingo, right here. So if you put a line on it and go in the lower time frame, what we did find there? An hourly candlestick right there that magically worked perfectly yesterday, and we have beautiful explosive move higher. We ran past what? Kind of like equal highs up here, and we generated another equal highs. Now we are coming back down again. True, right? But because of this really fast move higher, they need to kind of like fix this imbalance. I'm not going to go into the imbalance. I just want to stick with the candlestick. So you guys grab the concept of really high risk to reward trading with just knowing one concept. And there was either also one more right over here. I just spotted right here. All right, run higher, came back down. I think we were a little bit short of retest of the body, but yeah, the reaction is there. Okay, so exactly the same thing is actually happening on all the pairs, on all the crypto pairs, on all the gold commodities, oil, soya beans, orange juice, whatever you can trade, stocks, exactly the same concept apply. Why? Because that's how bank operates. That's how bank, of course, are moving the marketplace, right? And there was also one setup that we got on the Go Live yesterday, right over here. Market was bullish, right? The whole week. We created lows. We have candlesticks right over here. Market react, come back down. Candlestick retested. Market react, come back down. Right? Market retested. Market react. And then we have candlestick, retest, market react to the upside. And then this with a gray area, bam. And we had that explosive move higher. So again, with just knowing what the market is doing, we're doing this on the hourly. Of course, if we drop down to let's say for example, a 5-minute, right? Or even let's say 1-minute time frame is the same concept. So what we did, well, we ran equal lows on GU. We grabbed the orders. Now let's zoom in. Let's spot the banks, right? So this 1-minute candlestick grabbed the orders. Market trade higher, so there is some bullish price action in. What do? When the market comes back down to this 1-minute candlestick, that's where we play the trade. Market react. Didn't came back exactly to this 1-minute trades, but look how explosively react over here. So which candlestick really orchestrated all this move higher? This one down over here. What it does, it ran liquidity, didn't came back to the candlestick, but doesn't matter. That's 1-minute time frame. Of course, it's not going to be perfected. But again, when the market came back down, look at the precision there. So in this case, what we can do? Well, we can trade on 1 minute, stop loss on the low, entry on the body. So we are talking about 4.4 pips stop loss with take profit, of course, on the equal highs right here. So there we have 1 to 6 risk to reward trade. And if we just move a little bit into the future, right? We are trading quite heavily to the bull side just from one candlestick, right? Just from one candlestick. Right now the market is right over here. And just with one trade like that, the maximum amount of risk to reward was 1 to 10. Perfect, right here. Right? So that's that power, of course, of knowing what banks are really doing and how market is really driving the price, right? So that's that benefit of understanding that when the market is, of course, doing certain thing, and when the market is, of course, making movements higher, how can we trade in exactly the same direction that banks do? That's exactly what we are teaching on the Go Live. That's exactly what we're doing, right? And because of that, right? Because of that, a lot of people now have a static growth of their equity curve, right? And that's what it's all about, right? Yeah, the forbidden fruit. True that. Okay, so when we break charts like this, like I just did for you guys, that's how we don't need to trade all like every single day. We can trade exactly the same concept for any style of trading like let's say for scalping, for swinging, position trading, intraday, intra-week, whatever you like, what type of trader you really are, this concept can be applied. And it's not just this concept, right? It's not just this concept. Like if you really want, guys, if I really showed you the saws that we put together, right? So if you don't know about the add-on bounce back, you can go into bouncebacklounge.com. Right, it's the add-on, just like any other scanner, but this is not just scanner. We want to really be different with this product, right? So what we're really doing with this product is like we want for you guys to be self-sufficient, self-dependent traders. Don't rely on any signals or whatever. We actually want to create you as your own signal provider service. That's what we want to really do, right? So of course, this is like step by step how you can get and how you can use the bounce back scanner and all that. But the real sauce is right over here, the boot camp, right? So if you saw value and you really want to learn more about this, right? This is like 21 bucks a month additional, but this is what you get, right? We created the entire, let's say, step by step, really simple way introduction into the smart money trading. Kind of like the concept that I showed you guys, but it's really like we're working even, of course, few steps onto that. For everybody that is on my Go Live and that has bounce back, you can type it in the chat why this is so key, right, for everything, right? So when you get into the bounce back, you get the phase one is literally the basics, something that, of course, we did show you a little bit. And then if you scroll down, you have phase two, and we have phase three. Of course, each phases is showing you more what is actually behind the chart, more what is actually behind the candlestick. So you guys can create that image of what really drive the price, like we said, what is really there on the bank side that they're doing and that they're using to drive the market in a certain direction. And let's say kind of like patterns that are repeating themselves on a critical level, and how we can then take advantage on that, of course, and having a really high risk reward trade, like something that we showed on 1 to 10 on 1 minute. That can be done also in the 4-hour time frame, daily time frame, 1-hour time frame, 50-minute time frame, whatever time frame you actually like. Exactly the same concepts apply, right? And that's why I love with this boot camp that we put together, right? And plus you can watch us London Open and New York Open from Tuesday to Thursday on Go Live, right? Where we, of course, literally trading with you live right there. Like if there is any setup, we literally pressing buttons together. But that's something that I want to show everybody right now, that are in this trading journey, trading, let's say, experience, and really like going there to be a self-sufficient and really successful trader, right? And I'm not saying that, of course, you need to quit your strategy right now, but just think about it. Something that I showed you right now, because a lot of people go and learn this concept and then they use the idea of those concepts with their own strategy that they're using right now, and they literally flip even better risk reward out of that, because now they have a little bit better understanding where the market, of course, is going to be having a reaction and what type of reaction could apply, and how we can, of course, then squeeze the stop loss, right? Not just having a random 20 pip stop loss, right? Sometimes we need 25 pip stop loss. Sometimes we're going to have 7 pip stop loss, right? And knowing where to put a stop loss and where to put an entry and how to literally what is the target, that's also the benefit when it comes to the bootcamp and all that, with the smart money concept. Because literally what smart money does is literally just grabbing one liquidity to another liquidity, kind of like search and destroy. If somebody is inside of the Call of Duty gaming environment, right, search and destroy, that's actually what they're doing. They're creating liquidity, they move the market in one way, and then they grab orders and then go for another liquidity pocket. That's literally what they are doing. Okay, so I don't want to, guys, literally throw too much information out. I want you guys to, like, if you have any specific question when it comes to the mindset, when it comes to the lifestyle, when it comes to the trading, right? We can use the 20 more minutes before I need to go for my team call, to give you guys a little bit answer and maybe even any breakthroughs when it comes to everything with trading and all that. I have my chat over here, so we should be good to go. How do you prepare yourself before trading? Pretty much, if I kind of like break down my daily routine, it's I wake up 6 a.m. every time, right? Doesn't matter if it's a weekend or not. 6 a.m. That's my morning routine. And first thing, what we do, right? Of course, I cook a coffee for my beautiful girlfriend, waking up, and then what we do next is reading 10 to 15 pages. Don't like I'm not flipping my phone up and searching for what was happened, right? If Jordan texts me or whatever, right? 10 to 15 pages of a personal development book, right? It can be spirituality, it can be leadership, it can be trading related, whatever it is, just not some romance or fairy tales or something like that, but literally something that's gonna upgrade you. That's my first thing in the morning. Then then of course I do my affirmation. You can like you can write it down. That's like the most powerful thing. It's like write it down and then read it all out loud. Like I'm a profitable trader. I'm gonna have an amazing trade today and all that, because you can literally, if you are in a spirituality, you can literally attract trades to you, right? So when that happens, it's already like 7:30 ish. Then I come here into this room. I have my office over here, right, with a bunch of screens and all that. And that's where I literally start watching if there's like any business side that I need to do, any DMs that I need to go and reply, charts, see what is there, what Asia section did. If of course if I have any trades open, how that looks out, if I need to move stop losses on, so on that. And then of course we already streaming at either 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. I'm already live with you guys. And then after that, it's like 9 or 10 a.m. That's usually when I have my tea, right? And I have a little bit of discussion with usually John Phipp or Siva. For everybody that is on the bounce back, you guys know all those guys. And then already our afternoon session at 12 from Tuesday to Thursday. After that, it's my lunch, and then that's pretty much the rest. That's the first half of my day, if I say so. And then of course afternoons are calls like this for different teams, and then for my team as well, and pretty much going from there till the 10 to 11 p.m. when I do my gratitude and a meditation, and then pretty much going to sleep at like midnight, somewhere around there. And that's pretty much it, right? Um, Let me scroll up a little bit. Uh, how long did it take for me to become profitable? Pretty much it took me to be consistent profitable. It took me 7 months studying the smart money, right? Before that, it was like kind of like seasonality. I was good for 2 to 3 months, but then something happened and I was kind of like starting to have a losing streak, and I was literally dwelling with either open a trade or not opening a trade, like a real emotion circle. But that's happening like in the first 3 years. It was literally just trial and error, because of course I didn't have the mentorship. There was no go live, there was no IM, so I was like literally doing a lot of stuff on my own, a lot of mistakes, right? So again, that's why I believe that that's why I'm one of good education right there. um so what are your plans for the future? Pretty much what my plans are for the future, uh, to have on a certain goal for Go Live. Like I want to be the best educator for Europe side, right? Because I know that American side and Spanish side, they're already crazy, but I want to be top one educator in the Europe. And what is my goal to the future as well is pretty much um, create as much as impact that I can do to each trader inside of the IM, so they start to think how they can become self-sufficient, independent, and really understand the marketplace, that it's being manipulated all the time. It's not random. Nothing is random. Market is being manipulated. So just literally sharing the vision and sharing the knowledge and sharing this information that was literally kind of like introduced to me. And I know it's not me to just for my personal gain. It's pretty much there is a lot of money in the pocket right over here when it comes to the smart money, and when we're talking about the market. So everybody can literally be a billionaire. That's a big like a billionaire just from the forex. So why would I hold any information back, right? Um, so what would you tell a person who just started with trading? Pretty much what I would do is like when we're talking about trading, I know that, and I believe personally, I believe that this skill set is the skill set for the future. Like there could be an economic war going on in the entire world, right? We still gonna have profitable days just because we understand how the market is gonna operate, right? So whatever they're throwing down on television and whatever media says about Corona, about Trump, about Biden, whatever is actually happening, we can benefit from that, right? And I know that forex and trading skill set is definitely something that somebody needs to understand, and that's how you can gain financial freedom and also time freedom, because that's how you can control your financials, and that's how you're gonna become your own bank, pretty much, right? And then on the second part, like I would ask, all right, what do you want to become in the next 3 to 5 years, right? If you're not changing situation right now, the 3 and the 5 years are gonna pass anyway. It's just that what you're gonna become in 3 to 5 years from now. If that's a millionaire, good. We have the opportunity right over here when you can build pretty much sources of income when it comes to the building side, e-commerce, crypto, binary, forex. Everything is up to you, of course, what you're gonna take advantage of this, right? So that's kind of like my advice for everybody that starts also in Tradehouse Europe. What's your biggest learning that you can give us to get to the next step in smart money? Pretty much understanding that money, when it comes to the profit, it's the result of how consistency really can be. So to put it really in the short, certain like sentence, do not focus on profit. Do not focus on money. Focus focus on your journey. Focus on consistency, right? And do not let your emotions be dictated just by having two losses. Because think about it. Somebody might trade with $100,000 account. Somebody might trade with $100 account. Somebody have $7 million account. The percentage is same. The trade that you take that I showed you, for example, is the same. All is changed, it's lot size and the profit, and of course when the trade is either lost or of course it either wins, right? So amount of money is going to be there. All we need to do is of course being consistent with trading, being consistent with analyzing the market, and be focused on having a good profitable risk reward in our hand. That's pretty much what it is. What is your best advice to manage emotion in trading? Exactly what I said right now. Let money be byproduct of how good you are as a trader. Because think about it, why we have emotions? Because we have been raised up in a society that is of course dependent by the money. So what it means that when we have a loss, your subconscious mind is going to think about it, well, okay, I could be buying this with that kind of money. I could be paying those bills with this kind of money. And that's what triggers emotions in our head. Same goes with buying stuff when you are in profit. Oh, I can buy my dream car now. Oh, I can go doing this. Oh, I can do that. Oh, I can buy this. What happened? We want more money and we want faster. Right? Again, the money is the result of the equation, and the equation is actually discipline, risk reward, consistency, and so much more. The result is actually money. So pretty much just go for the win rate and high risk reward trading and be consistent. That's what's going to eliminate your problem with emotions, if we can say that, right? Institutional order flow, especially how liquidity is generated and then get taken out, please. Yeah, Michael, sure. So for example, we have USD CAD over here, so I'll not go over USD CAD. Let me go right here. Euro USD, exactly the same principle, same pattern, right? So what do we have? Lows, lows, and then we have this wick to the downside that grab that liquidity. So let's focus on that movement down. So when we go on the 4 hour, right, and zoom down, what actually happened? You see this candlestick? Market ran down below those lows, below those lows, and then the market start to literally shrink back in. And if we're gonna now go into this area right over here, the lower we're gonna go, more we're gonna find out how the market is being manipulated to the upside. And you can see on the hourly, we have this big candlestick down that created that liquidity run. So that's where the buy orders are literally in. All right, so when the market came in, right there, that's when the market came back and retest that area. All right, and then of course, market just follow up, run higher, right? You have that imbalance filled right here. When the imbalance got filled, market react, bam, back to the hourly candlestick, market react, and they just moving higher and higher and higher and higher. We here you have it here as well. Okay, so that's that order flow. It's pretty much when the market is consistently going into the same candlestick. And I just choose 1 hour. It can be at 5 minutes, it can be 4 hours. It's exactly the same principle, right? All right, let me scroll up a little bit more. Had a much breakthroughs during your sessions. What's your definition of yours winning attitude? Pretty much it's, of course, everybody's gonna have down days, right? Of course, personal life happens. Nobody's 100% consistently happy and jolly and all that, right? Of course, we have our rainy days. So what I'm doing on the rainy days is definitely I'm not trying to be behind the charts to open a trade, right? I'm just saying I know for the fact that there is going to be multiple days that I can have a trade, but if I'm not feeling, let's say if I'm sick or I'm like literally frustrated with something, let's say if something happened in business, whatever, right? I'm definitely not trying to trade. I'm just staying around, like, and let's see where a potential trade could happen, kind of like paper traded. But winning attitude, what happened and what helped to me, first is meditation, second is affirmation, and third, books. Especially Outwitting the Devil of Napoleon Hill, right? That book changed so much inside of me, right? That whenever I feel down, I go and listen to the audiobook of that book, or I go and just randomly open a page and just read a few pages of that book, because that book literally gave me so much breakthroughs when it comes to like winning attitude, be literally without fear and be really focus driven, and literally it's not going to be in your way that would shake you for, let's say, a long period of time and literally completely derail you to not being inspired or motivated to actually pursue the next thing, right? So how much time per day do you develop your self spirituality, and how? Pretty much what we are doing right now with my girlfriend is reading a book, uh, break your habit of being yourself, something like that, from Joe Dispenza. And in that book, there is a specific meditations that we are doing every single day, because you need to do it. Pretty much it's 4 week period, but I kind of like extended because after the first week, you have a certain situation that needs to create in your mind, and I'm just not there yet. So we're kind of like extending the first week. But that's how I'm doing. And it begins at like, I think it's like 20 to 25 minutes at first week. And then gradually it comes up to like an hour and a half. But after you are already there, that hour and a half, it's like that, right? And again, why we are doing spirituality growth, because we firmly believe that you cannot have success in this 3D world if you don't have success right now in your inner world. So we're changing ourselves. So whatever we're gonna change in ourselves is gonna be, of course, manifesting the 3D, right? So that's why we are doing the spirituality side of being successful as well, right? How many trades do you take in an average a week, a month? It can be up to 20 trades. It can be up to 1 trade. It can be even 0 trade, right? Because again, I am a human being. There is, of course, months that I take a vacation, or I'm in America, or we go to a convention and then I go explore the world. But when, let's say, for example, we have a trading month, I'm not limiting myself to say, let's say, to have a 2 trades per week per se. What I'm doing is I'm going for 10 trade series. Now, those 10 trades can be in 1 week, or they can be in 1 month. I don't care, because a lot of times at the beginning, of course, it's awesome to have that limit to say, all right, now I want to trade. I'm not gonna go and push it on the third trade. I will rather wait for next week. Okay, that's good to create that discipline habit. But then after that, if you really want to go there and experience that growth, I'm literally just rating myself how good I am in the 10 trade series. So after 10 trades, I'm analyzing how good I was in those 10 trades. If I'm winning 6 out of 10 or I'm winning 3 out of 10. Now, even if I win 3 out of 10 because of my risk reward, I'm still profitable, right? But again, of course, I want to be at least 5 out of 10 or more. That's for me like a green light, right? You're doing good. Let's keep it going that way. But again, it can be like in 1 month, it can be like 2 months, it can be in 1 week. Depends, of course, what time frame I'm using and what time frame I'm looking for. All that. What is your experience with binary option, and what is your opinion on compare with the normal forex? The only limit when it comes to the binary, that's how I started actually to the entire trading environment, right? When it comes to all that, um, to be completely honest, there is a lot of brokers that you might not have a success to withdraw any money, even if you are successful with binary. That's the first catch with binary. Second of which is, of course, risk reward is something that it's not even closely connected or like being there with forex. And of course, if you go into binary, you lose everything what you just put in that trade. There are people in the IM that I have personally talked with, and I saw the accounts and all that. They are definitely successful, right? So the educators on the high frequency package, they definitely know what they're doing, right? So it's just for me personally, that's kind of like I feel it's a little bit more gambling. But what I saw, and a lot of people right now in the Tradehouse are doing that as well. They're going the 1 minute and they are using this concept that I just showed you, like institutional candlesticks, like that. So they're trading binary with smart money stuff, right? And they're just going with it, right? Because it's working exactly the same thing, right? So that's that. What is your opinion on Bitcoin, cryptocurrency in general? That's definitely the future, right? Cryptocurrency is definitely the future. Just like thinking about it, how many of you guys have right now some cash in the wallet? Some has, some not. Majority of us, we have the most of our money is on a credit cards, right? So we are already kind of like partial crypto, because when you go into the store, you just swipe the card, right? When we have a transition to the crypto, it's not going to be any different. Just we're going to have a QR code on our phone. It's going to be like scanning and that's it, right? So transition for us, for our generation, is going to be literally like mindfulness, right? And the crypto is just digital. When you go to the bank, you don't have a stack of paper on the SAP that says your name on it. It's just bank account, and like a computer shows the numbers that are there. So we are already using the concept of crypto. Just technology is a little bit different. So in my opinion, the crypto is definitely the future. All right. So with that being said, guys, thank you so much for having me on this call. Thank you so much, Nico, for inviting me on this call. Love you guys, and I'm definitely happy to see each other on the Go Live tomorrow, because we're streaming at 8 a.m. Tomorrow